I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters. Tahmid and Saad, my bros.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh wa maghfiratuh.
Jeez, Tahmid.
Shout out to Sage for that.
Yeah, man, Sage is drilling it into us, bro. The full, what do you call it? The
salam. Always respond
the
with
full
better.
salam, bro. The full comeback. That's what we call it. But yeah, speaking of comebacks, we're here back at it again with afterschooldawah, bro. It's been a while, man. It's been a while since we recorded an episode in it.
Or like 3 weeks more.
Yeah,
no,
probably,
2 weeks.
bro. Like if we're talking about podcasts, bro, it's been a while.
True.
But if we're talking about like the last time we recorded, I think it was the QE's videos, innit?
Mm-hmm.
That was back in I don't know when was that. So I think that was like beginning of September, maybe. Something like that.
We recorded the Henna episode, like start of October.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah,
in that episode, yeah, that was. Oh yeah, I've completely. Well, I didn't forget about it, but I forgot that was the last one we did, innit?
Yeah,
but yeah, it's been it wasn't too long ago. At the same time, it just feels like time, bro. It feels like time. Yeah. Like when I pull the microphone out today in it for this, right? I'm like, yo, it just feels weird, like in front of the microphone. Like
it's been sitting on my windowsill for ages, and then when I grabbed it today, I was like, whoa. Not touched this in a while.
This looks pretty cool, you know.
Yeah, where'd this come from?
But nah, man. I guess it's because obviously for me, I've been moving houses in it, so
yeah,
I've just been busy with that. I didn't have internet for most of this time anyway. The Hinna episode, for those of you watching, I actually had to go down to Saad's house to record with him. Like that's how we did that episode. So we didn't even do that here. And obviously because of COVID, we haven't gone around to really building the studio yet, because I think like COVID restrictions, like they've tightened up a little bit more now, innit?
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I guess today's going to be like a bit of a chill episode. We're just gonna catch up with each other, catch up with you guys, and sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode. Enjoy the discussion. Maybe you learn something beneficial, maybe you don't. Who knows?
Inshallah.
This is all freestyle,
Definitely.
you know?
What do you mean
Nah,
you don't?
bro.
Definitely gonna learn something.
Yeah,
100%,
learn
yeah.
beneficial from
Alhamdulillah.
ASD. No other way around it.
No other way around it, yeah.
If they don't learn something, we didn't do our jobs properly.
Exactly, bro. It's a
I
proven.
didn't listen properly.
bro. It's a proven. It's a proven fact, innit? If you put on an ASD episode, bro, if you have cancer, it's cured.
Don't say that.
Hey, listen.
ASD is not responsible for anything Muhammad says. We do not endorse treatments for cancer or any other health problems.
Okay, maybe I'm going a bit far. But tell us, Tahmid, then, what can ASD actually cure then? Like listening to an ASD episode.
Cure your spirit.
Jeez. Allahu Akbar.
Alright, let me tell you.
La
allow me
ilaha illallah.
Muhammadur Rasulullah. Allow me to elaborate, okay?
Alright, go on.
We, us three, and a few of our other friends, we come together not only for the sake of friendship, compassion, and love, but ultimately for the sake of Allah. The reason we do this is not only as reminders for ourselves, but as reminders for everyone listening, whether it affects one person's heart or 100 people's heart. Either way, our job is done. So when you listen with an open heart, listen with a little humorous side to you, right? Because we're not sheikhs. Are we sheikhs? I mean, Muhammad might be a sheikh.
Nah. Far from it, bro.
So Saad's definitely on the path.
Yeah, definitely. If we have Sheikh Saad is Sheikh ASD, bro.
But honestly, we're doing what pretty much, because like I say, remember, we never forget our roots. Remember how we always say we started off just having deep talks after some of our shouts, just talking with each other. In the car after eating food. Then randomly Muhammad would be in your car, yeah. Back when I didn't have one. Or like back when you take the bus and just come back to Jamal's house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
But like we just be there eating food, and then I don't know, Mo will start on me, just pop a question.
Bro,
like,
we'll be there like munching on Deans in it, and then suddenly, bro, one of us is like, "So what's the meaning of life, lads?"
this episode is not sponsored by Dean's. Anyway,
I wish it was.
But
yeah,
if
yeah.
you do want to buy a Deans, make sure you tell us who sent you. I mean, don't tell us, tell them who sent you, which is
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah.
that we can get a discount next time we go.
Bro, honestly, and it's those convos that hit the deepest, innit?
Trust
and
me, man.
I've been thinking recently, like, I want to get back to that vibe. You know what I mean? Like, when we just all talk and get deep again. And obviously, this can bring it, but I want it to be exactly the same. I want it to have the same energy, the same vibe. And
Bro,
so,
I
like,
get what you mean.
that's
know
why,
what?
you know, today's episode, like, today's episode, when you said we're going to freestyle it, I'll just go naturally. I was like, I was so happy because I was like, finally, like, something that is more, you know, honest and natural and more.
more
how
real
it
in
should
it.
be, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You know, more just there, bro. You know.
Go with the flow, innit?
Nah, I think like freestyle episodes we definitely do it like more often in it. It's just it's just relaxing, bro. It's relaxing.
Fully.
It's not
No
even just
pressure.
relaxing. Like it's just like, bro. Like there's just so many things that pop into your mind whilst you're talking to your boys. Like
And
from what
stuff
you
that
said
don't
in
really
it,
filter, innit?
I feel like for a lot of people, not just us in it, like you know, with your friends, most of the conversations you have is kind of like it's not that deep in it. Like most of the convos we have is like, yo, sorry, want to play Among Us here, you know, and you know we share memes, we share gifs, you know,
Yeah.
we talk about the dunya, innit? You know, we talk about like, you know, Drake, Stormzy, yeah. We talk about what came out on Netflix, yeah. Have you watched that? You know, what was that? The Messiah, yeah. I'm proper old right now,
Still not
innit?
watched that.
But you
Still
know,
not watched that.
yeah, bro, it was actually a good show, you know. I watched it.
What?
I finished it all in one day.
Well, obviously it's a movie, isn't it?
It's not a movie, it was a series. But yeah, I watched it all in one day. It was interesting, obviously. Like, there was, you know, but you know.
Questionable.
But yeah, like, going back to what I was saying in it, it's like, you know, we kind of talk about the dunya a lot. We talk about reality a lot. We talk about materialism a lot. But how often do we actually talk about something deeper, you know? How often do we talk about, okay, what makes us happy? You know, what gives us contentment? What is the meaning of life? You know, I said that as a joke in the beginning. I'm like, yo, what's the meaning of
What's
life?
the
Yeah.
meaning of life? But
But
yeah,
like,
Yeah,
we
honestly,
came back to it.
Our
honestly, how
conversations actually go
stupid?
like that, innit?
You know, bro, honestly, how stupid is it that we go about our life and the last question we ask is, what's the meaning of this? How dumb is that, bro?
True, man. True.
You know, it's mad. Like, we live our life. We see people die every single day. Yeah. And we think do we not think to ourselves, okay, what happens to all those people that died? What happens to us when we die? You don't need to be a Muslim to believe in death, bro. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, everyone is there.
Everyone
innit?
has that question at some point, innit? What's life?
Yeah. But I think, like, with society, and society in itself tries to make us feel like we're immortal, bro. You know?
Very
Even
true,
though we
man.
live for like 60, 70 years, yeah, society makes us think that we live forever, man. And like, death is the last thing you want to think about. You know, it's like as if like, yo, as long as I don't think about death, I'm not gonna die. That's how people think, innit? You know?
Like, people die every day, you'll see it on the news here and there, but people just brush it off like, oh, it's just something that happens, and never realize that it's gonna happen to them either tomorrow or in 10 years or whenever.
Yeah, it's mad, bro. Today, innit, I went to Jummah, right? And the Khatib, he's a young guy, innit? Like, I'd say he's probably like 25, 27 years old, maybe, innit? And, bro, you know what he said, right? Young guy, right? He said, like, yo, just this week, 3 people I knew died from corona. Bro, that hit me, bro. That, man, that hit me, bro. Like 3 people died just this week, bro. You know? People he knew.
Hits you, when it's
Yeah,
people that you
definitely,
know.
man. Definitely. And it's like, I guess, like, for me, I don't know about the people that are watching, but for me personally, alhamdulillah, out of everyone I know, no one has died. You know? I guess I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but, you know, that's how it's been for me, innit? But yeah, definitely, like, imagine, bro, like, it could have been possible, bro. Like, imagine, like, our friend group, innit? Bro, imagine one of us died, bro, during this whole period. Do you think we would have treated, like, coronavirus the same after that?
No way.
No way.
Bro, we
No
would
way.
be on
100%
something else, bro.
100%. I know actually two of my friends that are actually diagnosed with it. Probably,
Yeah.
I think 3 now actually. And like
Yeah,
one of
and
them
that's
said,
crazy. That's scary, man.
one of them, he goes to me that. So obviously he popped up after a while. Obviously after we graduated and all that, right? And then he said, yeah, I just had corona. So I was like, wait, what? You had it? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, are you feeling better now and all that, obviously? He's like, yeah, alhamdulillah. But he goes, it was honestly one of the worst experiences he's ever had. Like, he wouldn't wish it on his worst enemy. He goes, like, it was that bad. So then obviously after
Wow.
that point, I was like, okay, this corona's not a joke. People try and brush it under and say,
Oh,
it's fine.
subhanallah,
You know,
man.
it's just,
Yeah.
I won't catch it. But then, this is my guy, my age, our age, right? 20, 21, who had it. And he goes, he wouldn't even wish it on his worst enemy.
Yeah.
Now, obviously,
I
some
mean-
people might react differently to it, but for him to say that,
Yeah, that's
just
crazy,
shows
man.
how serious it is.
That just makes me think as well, innit? Because, like, some people, they're like, yeah, you know, yeah, I could get coronavirus, but I'm probably not going to die from it, innit? Like, they're probably taking me to hospital and stuff. But you don't realize that, bro, the symptoms of coronavirus are pretty severe. Like, if you look at it, continuously coughing for hours,
yeah,
bro, that's going to kill, bro. Right? Coughing up blood, whatever,
Your
like, it's
throat
going to...
will- Your throat will get all, like, you know that feeling when you cough so much it gets
Yeah,
like sandpaper, kind of.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like
And
causing.
then you're doing that, like, continuously, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely a serious thing. And obviously, any sort of, like, it's similar to the flu, innit? Right? And it can kill you. Like, anything that can kill you is serious, bro. That's just how it is. And even if you don't take it seriously, maybe your parents or someone who, obviously, when you go home and stuff and see your parents, what happens? They're in contact with you. They could get coronavirus. They're older, you know. So, you know, obviously, yeah. I think it's mad, bro. It's mad. Sometimes we kind of like want to live in a little bubble in it. I think like in the Western society or the Western world, it's kind of normal for us. Like we're used to doing that, bro. You know, like anytime on Instagram something pops up in it about like, yo, look at what's happening in China. Look at these lot getting detained, right, in concentration camps, etc. You know, look at these lot in Rohingya getting tortured. Like, you see this in it. What do we want to do, bro? We want to just live in our bubble, bro, and look at what our boys been doing. You know,
Yeah.
look at that picture they set. You know, the one of the steak kebab. I don't know. You know,
Steak
like that's
kebab.
what steak kebab.
What? Did I send that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I send a lot of food to the group.
Yeah, Tahmid sends a lot of food. But, you know, like, that's kind of what we want to look at. We want to look at our own lives in it. Because when we look at these other things, it's depressing, bro.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, like, we're in such a situation where we're very fortunate enough where for us, a bad day, we don't have to worry about living on the streets in it. Realistically speaking, we don't need to worry about not eating today. And that's not something we need to worry about, innit?
For sure.
So then obviously, like, when you see that sort of reality actually exists for other people, nah, man, I want to stay in my bubble, bro. You know, I want to complain about my day. You know,
Bro, you know,
and it's mad.
and like, yeah, speaking of, it's semi off topic, but still similar. So I was in Jummah today.
Bro,
and
there's no off topic, bro.
Yeah,
This
true.
is freestyling,
No, I
innit?
mean, it's kind of just leading on from this, I guess. So, like, I was in Jummah today, and obviously, and it was Hafiz Rubal giving the talk. Shout out Hafiz Rubal.
Jeez, shout out to Sheikh. I was gonna say man like, but I feel like that's a bit disrespectful, you know.
But yeah, he'll be on one day on the podcast, inshallah.
Inshallah,
And you guys will know what he's about.
definitely.
So he was talking in it. I was listening, and then he was talking about this story of how, you know, the Prophet ﷺ is obviously the best person in
Sallallahu
character,
Alaihi
and that we look up to him character-wise. So a lot of points he mentioned obviously stuck with me, and just here's a couple. There was one where he was like the Prophet ﷺ was that caliber of a man, that even when those enemies hated him, they could not speak bad about him.
Jeez.
Like he was like they could literally they would literally say, I hate him, but he's a good man. That's literally what people would say about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Subhanallah, man.
And then obviously he was talking about love and how the Sahabah had unrequited love for the Prophet, right? And how like that love was unmatched, like the level of love they had for him.
Yeah.
And so he's telling me that there was this one companion who was talking to him, and he said he was afraid of death, I believe, because so obviously the person was like, why? And he was saying that because he was going to be separated from him, but not only because he was going to be separated, but because he said that Allah is going to put me in the fire and put you in Jannah. And this was a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Subhanallah, man.
And he thought he would be in the fire, whereas the Prophet would be in Jannah. So then he goes, even if Allah is merciful enough to put me in Jannah, I will be in the lowest of the low Jannah, and he will be right at the top. And then that kind of just like shocked me, because how is a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, some of the best people to walk on this earth, saying that he's going to go into fire, and if he goes Jannah, he'll be in the lowest one.
Yeah.
And then it was at that point that Allah revealed in ayah to Jibreel, which went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's like, "Man yuti Allah wa Rasula fa ulaika ma'al ladina an'ama Allahu alayhim." That one, I forgot the meaning, but it was basically like, if you follow the commands of Allah and His Rasul, you'll be amongst the shuhada, the salihin, and basically the martyrs and the 4 groups of people. But yeah, it kind of just
may
struck
Allah
me,
subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to be amongst them.
Ameen.
Jannah.
Ameen. It just shows, the state of them compared to the state of like us, like, if a companion thought they'd be in the fire, or they'd be in the lowest of the low Jannah, I mean,
bro, you know what it is, man? Is like back then, right? If you were a companion in it, obviously you would consider low high based on everyone around you in it.
For sure.
So it's like being in a smaller fish tank in it. Everyone's like high class, bro. You get me? When it comes to Iman and stuff. So it's a next level thing in it, bro. Would be there, bro. It's like, bro, who the heck are these guys? But that reminds me in it. And I said this before, like on the group chat, right? On that, that 16-hour voice note that I said.
Man sent an 11-minute voice note.
It took 24 hours for everyone to listen to it.
Oh, bro, that was funny, bro.
For every minute, it correlates to 2 hours.
But now, basically, I don't think I said it in that one. I'm not too sure in it. But actually, it was a different voice note. Sorry, but basically, bro, like, I was thinking, and this was from like a video that I saw in it, bro. When we look at people in Syria, bro, people in Rohingya, like the people I mentioned in it, right? Muslims who have literally like lived in bombs and explosions, right? Who've potentially seen their own parents get blown up in front of them, which is disgusting, because like you can't even bury someone who's blown up. Someone who's in a million pieces, how you gonna bury them, right? Kids who have seen that, adults even, when they see their own kids die, like imagine the amount of torture that is, right? Yet these people still have faith in Allah, bro. Until recently, I didn't realize how mad that is, right? Because when you think about it, what does that mean, bro? They felt pretty much the worst you can feel in this world, innit? Yet they still say Allah is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most gracious, the most merciful. That's a mad one. They see all that happen, bro. They see their families getting taken away from them, and they still believe in hope. They still believe in Allah.
I don't know. They could easily just turn their backs and say, Allah doesn't exist. If He did, He would have been helping us.
Yeah, exactly, bro. They had the right more than anyone else over here does. You know?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like, yeah, the Iman, instead of getting weaker, it just gets stronger, bro. You know? It's mad. And, like, we really need to, like, sort of reflect and ponder upon that ourselves, inshallah. Because when I think about it, I'm like, bro, what the heck, man? Because I've had those moments in it where I'm like, man, why is... You know, I'm praying my 5 daily prayers, man, but why is Allah making things so hard for me? Like, astaghfirullah, but I've thought like that before.
Of course. Yeah.
You know?
Everyone has those thoughts.
But yeah, it's all about mindset and mentality. When you realize that, bro, this life is a test, you don't think like this is like unjust, or like, you know, this is not merciful. Because think about it, yeah. Someone had a hard life for 60 years, right? What is that in comparison to the rest of eternity in Jannah? You know?
Bro, you know what it kind of reminds me of as well?
Go on.
I think it was Syria release Atiq Rahman. He was working with us as part of a different charity for Charity Week, I think when I was in first year. And if I remember correctly, he said this, and he was in some country, I don't know where it was, I think it was Syria or Bangladesh, one of them.
GG gang.
Gang. Yeah, so he was in some of the countries, some country with like, you know, they had a thingy going on, campaign going on. And he told me that when he was talking to a woman there, she was very happy. And she wasn't very like sad or crying or this and that. No, hang on. Actually, no. Wait. Sorry. I think she was crying. Maybe it's been a while. Sorry. She was crying and she was sad. And then the guy, you know, he asked like, "Why are you sad? What was, you know, is something going on? Like, you know, don't worry, we'll take care of you." She's like, "I'm not sad for myself. I'm sad for you lot." And he's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, we've already been through our test now. Like, you know, what more can we get, really? But you guys have yet to see yours." And that shook him, because he was like, "Bro, like she doesn't even care, man. She just knows it's a test. She knows that she's passed, and that's it. She's done. She's sorted. There's nothing else she needs to do."
That's actually so, yeah.
We've been chilling for 21, 22 years. And nothing majorly bad has happened to us, so we should feel more scared than we should feel comfortable.
Yo, that's fully what scares me, man. A lot of the time I was talking with my sister one day, innit? And like my sister obviously had a much more different life compared to me, like night and day difference between our lives, right? And so I was talking to her like, you're actually more blessed than me, because you know, because obviously we all know that Allah tests people He loves more, innit?
Yeah.
And so I was saying to her, you've like had your test pretty much your whole life, and I know it's been hard on you and everything, but look at you, you're still managing and you're still getting through it, innit? But me, I've had a pretty relaxed life for a majority of the part, and I'm just worried, like I just know a test is coming.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you stay tuned for the afterschooldawah podcast. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, where we post a whole bunch of videos about different things, especially those concerning social issues in the Muslim community and around the world. Tahmid, what's our saying, bro? Go on, Tahmid.
Do whatever you want.
That's not our saying, bro. It's literally like in the title, like on the banner. Go on. You came up with it, bro.
I know. I was about to say it.
Go
Jesus,
on,
man.
Go on, big man. Go on.
Isa alayhi salam. Young Muslims,
Isa.
same old problems.
Gee.